Welcome back to Christian Questions on News Talk 104.7 WXLM. Our subject this morning, so what about abortion? To be a part of our program, call 860-442-9956. That's 442-WXLM.
And Jonathan, as we continue here, let's go through the question, because one of the big questions is it a baby? And let's just define some of the things that happen during that gestation period and when they happen. And folks, listen carefully to this because it gives you a sense of the reality of what happens here. Go ahead.
All right, Rick, let's start. 15 to 17 days. Circulatory system begins to develop.
So you're almost at, in 17 days, you're almost beginning to have blood flow.
20 days, brain and nervous system established.
Okay, so there's a brain and a nervous system.
21 days, heart begins beating.
Have you ever heard the heartbeat of a fetus that small? It sounds like a swishing sound, and it's again, it's one of those miraculous moments. I remember listening when my wife was pregnant, and you listen in and you hear whoosh, 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 and you're thinking, that's the baby. 21 days. Now look, most women don't even know they're pregnant at 21 days.
That's right.
And you have a heartbeat.
28 days. Backbone and muscles are forming, arms, legs, eyes have begun to show.
Okay, 35 days?
Brainwave activity recorded.
So within just about a month from conception, you have brainwave activity.
42 days. Brain begins to control movement of muscle and organs.
So now you have that connectivity between the brain and the body that now they're starting to work together. This is at 42 days into a pregnancy.
Rick, here's one. 63 days. Fingerprints are already evident on the skin.
In 2 months, you have fingerprints. I mean, one of the classic ways of identifying somebody is fingerprints. 63 days into a pregnancy.
8 weeks. All organs and systems are present. The time from 8 weeks until birth will be spent growing and maturing.
And finally, at 10 weeks?
Squints in face is stroked.
Squints if face is stroked.
Thanks. Tried to grasp objects placed in hand.
So at 10 weeks, you have this little tiny being trying to hold on to something placed in its hand. Jonathan, we have a call. It's been hanging on. Let's take that call.
Welcome to Christian Questions. This is Jonathan and Rick. Who are we speaking with?
Gentlemen, good morning. This is Julius.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good grief. I appreciated what you've been saying. I appreciate what you've been saying, and I concur with it. And what Peter was said too was so powerful, so dramatic. And one of the first questions I'd like to ask for the world to hear, whoever wants, does God believe in abortion?
Good question.
I doubt that.
Yeah.
His command to Adam and Eve was multiply and fill the earth, and that's what we've been doing. And it was his wish not to bury a fetus. Good grief! How far have we come?
Yeah.
How about how low we have stooped?
Yeah. Well, you're right.
Oh, good grief! It's so sad. Another tragic point you made this morning earlier. These are the ones reported.
Right.
That you don't. Lord knows where the iceberg is. Underneath. Oh, golly. But anyway, this scripture is so powerful. Proverbs 14:12. I've shared it with you on occasions before. There is a way that seemeth right unto man, but the ends thereof lead to death. How foolish! How far he has come from. God says He teaches us to respect life, its sanctity. Life is precious. And Isaiah 5:20 also, I'm not even going to quote, but it's interesting to look at. And the final scripture I want to share with you is Isaiah 13:12. Different translations give it a little different aspect, but the point is that the time will come when Jehovah God will make a human life more precious than gold. Thanks for sharing such a difficult subject. God bless.
Thank you, Julius. Appreciate your call.
You're welcome. Have a nice day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
All right, Jonathan, we just went through the development, the fetal development, and the amazing things that happen so early on in a pregnancy. And these are things that people need to be aware of. Next thing we want to do very briefly here, Jonathan, is we've got, here we are, we're on the radio, and what do we have in front of us?
Pictures.
Pictures. And just give a quick description of what you see here. We have 3 pictures of a 7-week-old, 49-day-old fetus. What does it look like to you?
Well, you can identify the eyes, the nose, the ears. You can see fingers and toes.
Yeah.
That's what I see.
Arms and legs and fingers and toes and
even the rib cage.
Yeah. Okay, so at 7 weeks, that's what you can see. What about 12 weeks? What do you see?
Oh, very defined legs, knees, ankles, heels. I mean, you see all detail of the foot and the hands. I mean, and fingernails.
Fingernails.
And toenails.
I mean, and this is at 12 weeks. And, Jonathan, we've got a couple of calls online, so let's go to those. I think Larry is the first one up.
Welcome to Christian Questions. Go ahead, Larry. Are you there?
Is his volume up? Oh, I'm sorry. Larry, we lost you. We apologize for that. Please call back. We'll take the other call while he's calling.
Welcome to Christian Questions. This is Jonathan and Rick, who we're speaking with.
Oh, good morning. This is Catherine calling.
Good morning, Catherine.
I have a little bit of a story to tell. I started to babysit for a woman who almost had an abortion, and this baby is just beautiful. She actually went down to have an abortion, and there were marchers there, and she couldn't stop herself from crying. She knew it was a wrong choice. Then she called somebody who was her ex-husband. She has 3 older children, and he said, well, what do you want to do? And she said, I don't want to do this. She wouldn't kill the fly. And so he said, well, get out of there. So she did.